Good morning, students. We are up to the last chapter of the research, that is research utilization. So, last class we saw about the communication of research. We do it either by conference or by poster presentation or putting it in journals, writing it in journals. So, up to there the research communication is completed. So what is research utilization? How you can make use of the research what has been done in the discipline. For example, in nursing there are a lot of research is going on, and it's already been done, but how much has been utilized in the nursing field, that we say it as how much has been used in the field of nursing is different. So research utilization is also an important part of the research, because whatever research or evidence based practice which has been proved successful, we should try to adapt that or put it into the nursing field, either in education, administration, or in the clinical areas. So we'll discuss about that, which will be the last part of the research topic. So what is research utilization? It is the use of findings from a study or set of studies in a practical application. So if you use the findings in a practical way, you apply it in the practical, then we say it as research utilization. Research utilization is the process of synthesizing, disseminating and using research generated knowledge to make an impact on change in the existing practice. So if you, with the help of the research, if you make a change in the practice, we say it as research utilization. So there are different types of research utilization. How we can do the research utilization? The first one is indirect way of utilization. That is the conceptual, you bring out the changes in the concept or the idea in the nurses. So you put the concept or the idea in the nurses thinking, so that they bring the changes. That is indirect way of utilization. So if you have an idea, you try to put that idea in the nurses thought, and then you make them understand what that concept is and bring the changes. That is indirect utilization, or we say it as conceptual utilization. So what you do is you make change in the nurses thinking, so that of course they accept the some kind of researches. Direct or instrumental utilization, you just put the standard practice, or you change the standard practice and say that this is the rule or this is the change made in the patient care, so that directly they have to apply the knowledge in patient care. That is direct instrumental utilization. Mostly in nursing, there is no time for a conceptual change, bring a conceptual changes. We all know that we all are busy and none of them think or try to bring a new thing. It's very rare people do that. So instrumental utilization is very commonly used, and of course persuasive or convincing utilization. So instrumental utilization is more effective if the organization itself think of making changes, then they can bring directly put it into the practice. That is called direct utilization or instrumental utilization. The next one is persuasive. Persuasive is nothing but convincing. You convince the organization or the management or the nurses to bring the practice into the change into the practice. So that is persuasive. You keep on persuading the nurses or the organization or the management for a change. That is called convincing utilization. Convincing or persuading the organization by showing the evidence and bringing changes in the practice. You can show the evidence, that show the research data or ideas, and tell them that it is more effective and show them the proof, and so that they can adapt to the change. So these are all the types of research utilization: indirect or conceptual utilization, direct or instrumental utilization, persuasive or convincing utilization. Next, so when we think of bringing changes, then you should have some idea how to bring it. So always remember, if you are going to make a change in your practice, Rogers theory of diffusion of innovation, this plays an important role. As per the Rogers theory only, you can put the change in the practice, or bringing the paper result to a practice. You can do it by Rogers theory. As per this theory, what he says is knowledge, persuasion, decision, implementation and confirmation. This is how the step by step research utilization happens. First we will see it by here, research utilization process. It adapts Rogers theory of innovations. So what we do first, knowledge stage. First you should get the idea of what it is and how to use it in the practice. For example, research something is in the paper, okay, some procedure which has been evidence based practice, it is proved. So you want to put it in the practice. First you should know about that idea, or you should know about the knowledge of what it is. So that is the first awareness of the first stage, which is knowledge stage. So you bring the idea and think about it, and then persuasion of that idea to others. So persuasion stage, an attitude is formed toward the innovation. So you have to bring into people's awareness that and start persuading that this is good practice, okay. And then decision stage involves adapting or rejecting the innovation. Here decision stage is usually done by the organization or the head of the department or the head nurse, so who is going to decide on whether it is effective or not. So once decision is made, implementation stage happens, where the idea is put into the practice. So you start using the idea, and confirmation stage is the stage of reinforcement of decision. So once you put it in the practice, you will come to know what are all the positive and negative sides of the practice, new practice. So you see whether it is effective or not effective. So then confirm the stage, where confirmation has been done, whether we need to continue with the new practice or we need to make changes in the new practice. Clear? So this is how the utilization of the research process happens. So once you are planning of utilizing the research, first you should know the knowledge or the new idea. About that idea you should have a good knowledge. And persuasion stage, start persuading the organization or the team leader just to make the change. And once the decision is done from the head of the department, whether they are going to accepting or rejecting the innovation, once they accepted, start to practice, that is implementation stage. And in the practice, see is there whether it is benefited or not. If it is benefited, confirm the stage, confirm the new practice. If it is not benefited, go and look for some other research or go for the other change you want to make. So this is how the utilization happens in the nursing field, especially knowledge stage, persuasion stage, decision stage, implementation stage and confirmation stage. So you acquire the knowledge, persuade the others, decide on what is to be done, implement it and confirm it. Clear? Of course, when we think of utilization, the first thing comes in our mind, who is going to bother, or what are all the interruptions happens, that is barriers of research in utilization. So once, just a minute, barriers in research utilization. So when you are planning to utilization of the research, there are a lot of barriers comes in front. First one is research related barriers. The research itself can create some problems. Nurses related barriers, barriers related to nursing profession and organizational barriers. We will discuss one by one of these problems. First one is research related barriers. Lack of valid and trustworthy research studies. All the research we cannot take it into the practice, because you have to make sure, check the validity and trust of the, whether the honesty of the research studies which has been proved effective. So go for something which has been tried already and successful. Don't go for something very new. So you have to make sure whether the research which has been you are going to put into practice should be a valid one. Lack of enough published replications. There are a lot of research studies which has not been published or replicated. So research whatever has been done, sometimes which is left half study and which is not came into a practice also. So these two things may hinder the research application, lack of valid and trustworthy studies, and most of the studies have been not replicated or not published. The next one is nurse related barriers. This is very common, lack of attitude towards research. Okay, why to make changes? What has been practiced in 1990s, let us practice the same. It's very easy to follow which has been already practiced instead of bringing a new change. Lack of formal instruction in research and lack of skills to judge the merits of a study. So nobody encouraged the nurses to in utilization or making changes or thinking of making changes. Lack of attitude towards research, resistance to change. Most of the nurses, you can see the senior most nurses, they never want to change their practice. So that kind of attitude always brings a hinder to the utilization of research. Next one is barriers related to nursing profession. Our profession, when you see lack of perception from nurses when they are independent professionals. So this is what I said when I discussed nurses, when they are thinking of changing their practice itself is very difficult. So it's very all the nurses, they just want to finish their work and go off. They never want to change or implement, because which may interfere or delay their work. So shortage of role models, there are role models very less. Lack of perception from the nurses itself very less. Unable to motivate student by the nurse motivators. Sometimes if we students think of motivating the nurse, it won't happen, and we can, nurse educators cannot motivate the students. I know that nowadays motivating students is a difficult job. Shortage of role models, lack of perception, and unable to motivate. These are all the things which are the barriers of related to the nursing profession itself. Organizational barriers, these are very very important barriers, because even though the nurses have an interest, sometimes the organization refuse to make the change. Organizational resistant to change, they don't want to change the practice. Lack of motivation from the organization itself. Insufficient time, resource constraints. Sometimes the resource or the money or the equipment they may think of which they doesn't want to make a change. Lack of strong leadership in healthcare organization. So these are all the barriers related to organizational organizational resistance, lack of motivation from the organization, insufficient time, resource, lack of strong leadership. So these are all the barriers related to the research utilization. So when you think of research utilization, barriers comes in front. Research related barriers, because of the worth or valid research or enough published replicated researchers. Nurse related barriers, where she may not have a good attitude to accept or resistant to change, or lack of formal instructions. Barriers related to nursing profession, shortage of role models, lack of perception, unable to motivate the students by nurse educators. Organizational barriers, organizational resistance, lack of motivation, insufficient time and resource, and lack of strong leadership. So these are all the barriers of research utilization. Next we will move on to strategies. So once, if you want to use the research evidence or utilize the research, what you should do as an individual: read widely and critically. So always read the new articles or new research publications and critic. Always comment on whether it is an effective one or not. You always think, read and think and critically analyze whether it is effective, or you can put it in your field or in your area. Attend professional conferences to develop this critical analysis and to know the research evidences. Of course, you should attend conferences frequently. Learn to expect evidence that a procedure is effective. So always look for an evidence that a procedure has been an effective one. Don't go for blindly something which is not proved. Become involved in a journal club. So you have to, it's better to start a journal club and get involved so that you will get an updated research reports. Pursue and participate in research utilization evidence-based practice projects. So you have to involve in the research utilization and evidence EBB practice. so that you can know how to apply and how to think and how to make changes. So we have discussed what is research utilization. So it is the use of the findings from a study, bringing a change in the practice. Types of research utilization: indirect, direct, persuasive. It can be otherwise said as conceptual utilization, instrumental utilization, and convincing utilization. Always when you want to apply research, then you think of Rogers' theory of diffusion, where it has been done in stages. First you should know the knowledge, persuade, decide, implement, and confirm. And there are a lot of barriers in research utilization. That's why there is no changes happens in most of the areas in nursing fields. Research related barriers, nurses related barriers, barriers related to nursing profession, and organizational barriers. Strategies to use research evidence, how you alone can go towards research utilization is: read widely, attend conference, learn to expect from the evidence, become involved in journal club, and participate in research utilization and evidence-based practice programs. Thank you. We are finishing with our research topic now. Bye.